Sean Zhang winning the lag here, getting the first break. Difficult leave on that 6 ball. So 11, 13, 14, 8 is the plan. Nope, 14 first. Robert making quick work of that rack. First rack goes his way. 1-0. Second rack in the NBL qualifier final. Robert C to break. He's leading 1-0. Two low balls find their way into the bottom left off the break. That would be actually the 11 ball and the 6 ball in the bottom left off the break. So 1-1. Nice smooth stroke on that stun shot to the 3 in the top left. Smartly playing off the rail there to hold shape for the 1. He's pretty straight on this 2. He's going to need to generate some good draw action on this shot to get back down for the 8. Yeah, nicely executed. He's down on the 8 to the left bottom corner. And it's this 8 ball to go up 2-0. 8 ball goes clean. And Robert C leads Sean Zhang 2-0. So this is rack number 3 with Sean Zeng to break. He's trailing Robert C by 2 racks to 0. Now, great cue ball position off that break. Unfortunately, broke dry. And if you're just tuning in with us, this is the NBL Qualifier Final. This is a double elimination tournament, with Sean Zhang being the finalist from the winner bracket and Robert C being the finalist from the loser bracket. Sean needs to win this race to 6 to win the whole enchilada. And Robert C needs to win this race to 6 and then a subsequent race to 4 against Sean in order to doubly eliminate Sean Zhang for his chance to take home the old enchilada. So, bit of work to be done by Robert here, but he's making good progress towards that effort, taking the first 2 wrecks. And that shot kissing into the 3, sending the cue ball way too far, way farther than Robert had planned for that leave. He just wanted to draw off of that clean lead, but got an unexpected boost by cannoning into, the 5 ball, not the 3 ball. It's a bit difficult to tell between the 3 and the 5 on the screen. Excellent effort. Unfortunately, just missed. Sean now taking his time to plan out his route, taking the 7 ball, and now the 5. He's looking between the 5 and the 2. going for the one ball, and that was actually very well worked out. I didn't necessarily want the 5 ball in that situation. It was much too thick of a hit, required a lot of power to come around for shape on other shots. And instead, taking the 1, the 2, the 6, and the 5 makes his run out just a little bit easier. A nice little follow shot off the 5. Into the line of the shot for the 8-ball, and the 8-ball goes in. So that makes up the differential. Machanjeng is still trailing Robert by 1 rack to 2. Rack number 4 and the NBL qualifier final. Robert C to break. He's leading 2 racks to 1. So a low ball down off the break. 2-ball in to the bottom right. And Robert here is off and running. It's a very good position for the table to be in for a break and run. We've been in this position a couple of times tonight. Haven't yet seen anybody able to string 7 or 8 balls together. Let's see if Robert can get it done. Didn't quite get the cannon on the one. But the root is still there. 6-1-8. Had to elevate for that 6-ball shot. It just makes it that much more difficult. Sean maybe not taking as much time as he should have on that shot on the 14. Given how he's been shooting today, I would describe that as very uncharacteristic. Robert making the 1 ball, just avoiding the scratch in the left middle. Just going to bring the cue ball. Going to need to bring the cue ball just back to where it's sitting right about now. Very smart. Draw, but not too much draw. You can very easily put too much draw in that shot and end up scratching in the middle pocket. You don't need to put too much bottom on that shot to get shape on the 8 into the bottom right. Perfect stun shot into the bottom right. 8 balls in. Robert up 3-1 over Sean. Rack number 5. Sean ZENG down 3-1. And the 9-ball just wiggling into the bottom left off that break. And there's a very big remaining cluster by the foot spot. Oh, he may not have wanted that to drop. So making the 6-ball in the bottom right, going into the cluster. Kind of unfortunate that that 7-ball dropped in the lower left. Now off the foot rail into the 4 to the top right. Great shot. Always difficult playing Tight against the rail. Slow up cue ball. Not exactly where he wanted it, but still able to cut the 2 ball into the side. Just slowly rolling out of position, shot to shot. And now he's in a bit of trouble with the 1. A very thin cut attempt into the bottom right. Lots and lots of traffic he had to go through there. Now, with the 1 ball against the bottom cushion, Robert has a good opportunity to make some balls with relative impunity in terms of missing or making or running out of position. He's just done a roll up on the 15, coming just to the right side of it to come back up table. So after Sean runs out of position on the one ball, gives the table back to Robert. Robert's able to muster yet another run out here. He goes up 4 racks to 1. This is rack number 6 in the NBL qualifier final. Robert's seat a break here. He's leading 4 racks to 1. Got the 15 ball spinning into the left middle off the break. So 4 ball goes in the top right. So Robert has claimed low ball here. So he'll be able to pick off the 1 here from the cluster. However, he's at an angle that he won't be able to develop the 5. So the 1 ball goes in. And just a slight draw for shape on the 7. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. The 5 is there. I guess that must be the 13 glued up against the 9. So then just the 5 ball and he'll be on the 8. That was nicely struck. Oh, he wants that cue ball to slow up. Ooh. Well, with that slightly dangerous cue ball, the 8 is in. And Robert now leads Sean 5-1. This is rack number 7. Sean Zen breaking, high ball and left middle. And Sean has some work to do. He trails Robert 5-1. Nothing ideally positioned for a run out here. The 14 and the 5 being the really dominant problem cluster. 7 and 13. Also preventing anything relatively easy. They went for the breakout of the 5 and the 14 immediately. Fortunately, can't see the 14 past the 1 ball, but he still has the 9. So not able to make the 9 ball all the way down the rail. That's Robert's chance to see if he can develop these balls along the top rail. So he's able to push the 9 ball out of the way, and the 14 as well. He's got options to leave for the 2 or the 4. I mean, ideally, he would be leaving for the 2 and the side. To come into the 7 and the 13. This is going to require some doing. Came to the high side of the 4. Now he's kind of run himself out of options to easily break the 7 out. Has to bridge over the 12 here. He's able to make the 4, even though he was hampered by the 12. Now can he skim this 7 ball in? It leaves naturally for the 8. He just has to focus on the pot. Good shot. Brilliant shot. It's always easy when you have a difficult shot, but you also don't have to worry about putting any English or power into the shot for the leave. That is 8 ball number 6, folks. All right, pool fans, this is it. The final race to 4 for the NBL Qualifier tournament. Whoever wins this race to 4 wins the whole thing. If you're just joining us, Robert just beat Sean ZENG in a race to 6 to get to this race of 4. So let's see whether or not he can pull out another win here against Sean ZENG. Or let's see if Sean ZENG can battle back and win this race to 4 to take down the NBL qualifier. So Robert with a decent break held the cue ball at the center of the table. Unfortunately, broke dry. And what I think Sean was doing there was looking at 7 ball. Yeah, he's back to looking at it again. He is kind of in an ideal position to go after it, but it would also probably be prudent to turn it down and to make balls first. Yeah, there you go. So, able to get much better position on the 7 after playing the 3 in the top left. Pushed the 9 ball into the rail, and now the 1 ball is the problem. He's looking at maybe the 1 cushion to the opposite middle. He's going to take his easier options first. Ooh. Gonna have to kick into this. Made contact. Yeah, he just rolled out of position with that 2-ball shot. Snookered himself on both the 1 and the 5. A great shot on the 9 and a nice little delicate cannon on the 15. Folks at home, which ball would you play here? 15 or 11? I know which ball I would choose. So does Robert. So the lower the two balls to get a nice rolling leave on the 13. That's a great shot. Drawing all the way up for the 14. And now pointing out the shape that he wants on the 10 there. So 14 into the long rail on the right. Stun into the 10. Shape on the 11. And then you could practically take the 8 ball anywhere you want from there. All corner pockets and the side pocket, the right side pocket available for the 8 ball. So I don't know whether it was by design, but very fortunate to shoot into the 10 like that and put the right spin on the cue ball so the cue ball separated from the long rail a little bit. Had the adverse effect of wiggling the 10 in. But it certainly made the shot on the 11 easier. Pretty straight 8 ball here for the first rack. And it goes. Robert C. again drawing first blood in the race to 4. He's up 1 rack to 0. It's rack number 2. Sean ZENG the break. He's down 1-0. Breaks dry. Cue ball resting half a diamond above the right side pocket. Fairly good position here. I think he's going to opt for high balls. He's going for the 10 in the top left. Bit of an interesting choice because he's definitely going to need to develop that cluster by the left middle pocket. Not to say that it's impossible, but it's going to take some work. Ooh. Jumped up a bit on that shot and rattled the 13, the top right. Sean responding quickly by taking out Robert's duck, leaving the cue ball by the top right pocket. He's going to go for the 14 here. Or no. Doesn't look like he's on the line of that shot. Ooh. Interesting. Bit of a hard to see where exactly where he was aiming with his dark cue in the dark part of the screen. It was fairly certain that he was going for the 14, but for some reason it looked like his cue wasn't on the right line of shot. A little bit of check side on that shot to try and hold for the 12. He's going to also need to think about how he wants to get to the 11 from here. Oh. And a miscue. Never a good time for a miscue. But even from this position, Sean has his work cut out for him. Now the 4 ball finding its way into the right middle. Off of making the 3 ball in the lower left corner. Gonna have to play the 6. And I have to say, Sean's long putting has looked good all afternoon. Even when he's glued to the short rail, he's able to make those 8-foot, 9-foot shots. He may have pushed that 11 a little bit into trouble. That's 7. I think if he would have taken his time a little bit with that rest shot, he wouldn't have need to cannon into the 11. He wouldn't have need to disturb those 2 balls. He's calling Robert over to watch the hit. It's going to be close. And he got it clean. Using the 15 as a backboard there. Squirted it out towards the 8 ball. Looking to see his margin of error on how far he needs to run the cue ball down the rail to get the 8 on the side. And he's got great shape on that. 8 on the side to even it up. And it goes. We're even. 1-1. Does Robert see the break here? We're tied up at 1-1. Oh, and the cue ball just grabbing with a little bit of topspin finds the left middle pocket. And the cue ball avoids the right middle on that shot. It doesn't do Sean any favors, leaving him for the next shot. Certainly could have been worse there. Certainly could have been better. So Sean opts to thin the 7, park it right in the way of the 10 ball from going into the top right. It's a very smart shot. The 10 ball does have alternatives, specifically into the top left here. Robert's going to immediately opt for the one cushion bank on the 10 in that pocket. It's in, and so is the cue ball. Oh, unfortunate. Great shot on the 10. Unfortunately, the cue ball also finds its way into the left middle. Now, Sean's second ball in hand on this rack. Leaves him with a great opportunity to win this and go up 2-1. It'll be the first time he'll be in the lead in this final. He was consistently trailing Robert in the first race to 6. It was a bit tricky to put the cue ball in the right position for the 6 to get good shape on the 8. I don't know whether he was intending to stop it and didn't put enough power in it. No. Enough to compromise the run out there. Ball in hand with 5 balls left on the table. A lot of people would argue that that's when you need to get it done. Now Robert with the opportunity to pinch this rack after first scratching on the break and then scratching on the one rail bank on the 10. Decent shot on the 14, the bottom left, coming all the way across to leave relatively straight shots down the right-hand rail. Nicely cued. Those are always difficult shots when the object ball is tight against the long rail and you have to play with enough power to draw back for a leave down the same pocket. He's looking at the line of shot for the 8 in the left-hand side. There comes 2 rails for the 8 in the top left. So Sean ZENG unable to capitalize after giving 2 ball in hands. Robert's able to hang on and take that rack. He leads 2 racks to 1. Rack number 4. Sean ZENG to break. Trailing 2 racks to 1. And he breaks dry. Had to weigh the pros and cons of taking low ball over high ball there. Finally decides on the 7. The major disadvantage of low balls here is where the 8 ball goes, or more specifically, where the 8 ball can't go in either bottom corner pocket. Could sort of have this umbrella of stripes sitting around the 8 ball. But in terms of the position of all of the solids, I definitely agree with the starting shot of the 7 ball. I think that's a rather prudent decision. There was a little bit to think about on that shot. He was in position to pretty much make any ball that he wanted. However, making the 2 or the 3 first would absolutely put the 5 ball in a bit of a precarious spot. So again, opting for the 5 ball is just a very prudent decision. Which is the stun out for the 3 in the side. And yeah, this is kind of what I talked about at the beginning of the rack, where the 8 ball doesn't have too many options of where you can put it. This is the sort of the downside of taking solids on this rack. Oh, did he clear it? So I think he can see the 8. Whether or not he can see the potting angle is a different question. Given the frustration in his body language, I don't think he can quite see it. It was such a monumental effort, stunning into the 3, coming off of the top rail, down into the 8 to try and develop it, and just didn't quite get there. He's putting a little bit of outside to try and maybe throw this in. Yeah, not enough. Not enough. It was a good try. With the position of the 8 ball, though, definitely still a massive favorite for this rack. Sean electing to play it safe. I don't know whether he's got enough cover on that. It's certainly a tempter here to swerve into the 8. Definitely also seen Robert be capable of performing jumps and baby jumps. Although that's definitely not an advantageous arc for a jump shot. And he's just going to purposely foul to push the 8-ball deeper into the pocket. So he gives Sean ball in hand here, but definitely doesn't do him any favors in terms of the position of both the 15 and the 9 relative to the 8 blocking the bottom left pocket. Sean able to squeak the 14 by the 8 to kind of push it up out of the way. Fortunately, it came to rest right about a third of the diamond up from the bottom left pocket. So it's still a problem for the 15 and the 9. But relatively easy safe to play off the 13 here. Left Robert perfectly tight on that left side rail. Going to be another intentional foul. Kind of pushing more balls towards that left corner pocket to make it more difficult for Sean to access them with ball in hand. He tried to play follow into the 10 off of the 8 to pop the 8 out. Didn't make the 10. Didn't leave Robert with anything particularly attractive here. He's going to try a back cut. That's a tough shot. Sean trying to make the 10 to the side. Drills it into the far draw. Leaves Robert here with a particularly natural bank off the short rail into the top left. Goes long by about 2 diamonds. So Sean able to clear the 8-ball out of its original position by the lower left pocket, but still has that remaining cluster of balls that he needs to develop. the 15, the 9, and the 11. He's going to go straight away for the 15. Nope. He'll play safe. So in that safe, I think now all three of those balls are makeable. They might need to go in a particular order, but they all go now, or at least they are a lot easier to get to than they were previously. Robert here in a bit of a pickle. These are situations where you wish you put in some table time practicing your two real kicks. But even given the position of the 12, I don't even think that the two real kick is on. So Sean here with another ball in hand opportunity to run this out, but he needs to capitalize here. So 10 and then into the 8. This looks to be a tie ball game yet again. There's the 8 ball down. Sean Zeng's able to even it up again. We're at 2-2. So after that brief intermission, we're back. This is rack number 5 for the National Billiard League qualifier final match. All tied at 2. It's an effective race to 2 now. And we have Robert C. to break. Two ball was headed right for that left middle and just got kissed out of the way. Sean Zhang claiming stripes with the 12 ball in the bottom right. Both Sean and I simultaneously looking to see if that 11 ball goes. And in case you couldn't tell, that 11 ball does indeed go. Oh, and the 9 ball just missing. Hitting the long rail about 2/3 of a diamond up. And then hitting the far jaw. Sean Zhang spoiling a possible break and run opportunity. It's never a good time to miss, but that one was especially a bad time. On to the 3 ball in the left middle. That was a delicate little shot. Had to make it off of the far jaw. Very easily could have bounced out, gone the other way. Going to have to extend for this 4-ball. And it's going to have to draw back up table. It's missable, especially under pressure. Down it goes. Made it look easy. Just needs the right amount. It's perfect. Sean ZENG concedes on the 8-ball. And that puts Robert in the lead, 3 racks to 2. So Sean ZENG here to break. Let's see if he can put the score back to even. 7-ball down. 2 and 4-ball hanging in pockets. One and 14 are a little bit in a predicament. Play the 6-ball first. It's a beauty. And trying to sneak the 1 past the 14 there to combo in the 2. Didn't quite get the right side of the 14 for the ticky. So now Robert back to the table. He's going to look to try and develop the 10, the 12, and the 9 very quickly. Rattles the 11 in the top left. Unfortunate. Sean comboing the 1 into the 2. Kept the 1 into the pocket, which is great. He can either choose to play the 1 now to get better shape on the 5, which he's going to do. There is always the option of playing the 5 first, using the 1 to get better shape on the 8. Oh, did he overrun this? Oh no. Well, can you believe this? Unfortunately, overran the cue ball a bit, trying to play for shape for the 5 in the side. Good attempt on the 1 rail kick, but it's not enough. So Robert will get yet another opportunity at this rack. He's on the hill. No doubt he smells the blood in the water. He's had to just absolutely battle from the loser's bracket. Ended up getting the first race to 6 over Sean ZENG 6-2. Now he leads 3-2 in the race to 4. Since Sean came from the winner's bracket and Robert from the losing bracket, Robert needs this additional race to 4 to double eliminate Sean for the victory. He's opened them up entirely. Certainly a great number of paths to choose from here. Ten in the side. He has the traffic light left. Red stripe, yellow stripe, green stripe. Cue ball in pretty good position for the 9. If he does go for the 9, it's going to be slightly awkward bridging over the 5 ball. We've certainly seen him miss his fair share of shots when having to awkwardly bridge. He's able to muster up another great shot. Now 14-8 for the win. Down, sitting about a half ball off of the long rail. 8 ball, bottom left pocket. This is for the win. Well, a monumental battle, an absolutely great victory for Robert, coming from the loser's bracket, winning the first race to 6 against Sean Zhang, battling it back and taking the final race to 4. He wins the NBL qualifier here at East Ridge Billiards with a final score of 4 racks to 2 over Sean Zhang. We'd like to thank our viewers tuning in wherever you are, whether you're in the Rochester area or somewhere outside. We hope that if you are in the Rochester area and you're not just in the mood to watch pool but play it, you choose to come down and see us here at East Ridge Billiards. East Ridge offers the best tables in the Rochester area and also the best hourly rates. And with a wide selection of food and beverages, there's no reason why this is the spot to come to when you want to scratch that pool itch. Thanks again for tuning in.